Hello and welcome to 5 p.m. Every day, Bangladesh gives you some interesting fodder to talk about. Today is no different. The latest is, uh, most people are saying that the ICC representative is traveling to Bangladesh for the Bangladesh Premier League with the players revolting and all of that happening. Some Bangladesh journalists are also telling me that there could be ICC and Bangladesh Cricket Board meetings on the sidelines. They are telling me that these meetings could happen and there could be a resolution on the cards, that the ICC representatives will talk to the BCB about their stand of not coming to India or coming to India for the World Cup. You know, if you just judge the situation, I actually think Bangladesh has reached a point of no return. It's sad. The players, they have gone back to playing the Bangladesh Premier League on condition that they think that Nazmul will not be entertained by the BCB anymore. Yesterday, the press release announced to the world that Nazmul has been taken out from his position as finance committee chairman. But the larger question here is, where does Bangladesh cricket go from here? Are you going to play the World Cup? Are you not going to play the World Cup? This domestic turmoil between the players and certain sections of the establishment. Take Nazmul. Take the role of the Bangladesh Cricket Board only. The Bangladesh Cricket Board has issued a show cause. What was the original demand? The original demand was that of resignation. Did the Bangladesh Cricket Board originally accede to that demand? No. The Bangladesh Cricket Board tried to placate. They tried to soft pedal. They tried to create a solution whereby they would be able to, get Nazmul on their side and they would be also able to control the players. So much so that Mithun, who the chairman who did the press conference, said that this was the toughest thing since his wedding. Can you imagine? He's actually on record saying the press conference was as difficult as his wedding. One journalist has actually gone on Facebook and has written that he knows his wife and she's one of the best women in terms of her nature. So how is this guy writing? I mean, it's obviously fun intended. But the truth is, I thought you said ICC official traveling to Bangladesh because of some. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what you heard. The Bangladesh journalists are claiming. The Bangladesh journalists are claiming that they will negotiate or not negotiate. They will talk to the BCB. Absolutely, that's the Bangladesh version, Sunny, and that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. From what we know, that it was absolutely about the corruption in the BPL. Bangladesh journalists are telling me and told us that there could be sideline talks, back channel negotiations to try and solve the crisis. This is where it gets interesting. What will you solve? Even now, Sunny, even now, if you actually go to book my show, let me go to book my show now. Even Crickbuzz is reporting the same. India official, ICC officials are to try and persuade the Bangladesh Cricket Board to play their T20 World Cup. See, there's no question of persuading anyone. There is no question of persuading anyone. The ICC will try to reason out because, and this is what I've said. I've said this multiple times that the and Bangladesh is an important member. If anyone says that oh Bangladesh is not an important member, no, that's not true. The fandom is important. How many countries boast of proper fandom? Bangladesh does. So, as the mother body, the ICC will or should try to reason out and try to make them understand till the last moment. Then it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Then a hard line has to be taken. But I have never believed in a hard line from the very start. There should be every attempt made for a proper compromise solution to be reached, for a proper solution where both sides are happy. That's how diplomacy is. That's how diplomatic maneuvering should happen. So that's precisely what should happen or will happen. The ICC has played its cards pretty smart. Have they given into anything? No. They are trying to persuade, convince, reason out, explain, make them understand that look, the security threat is low. There is no security threat, very low to very minimum. So you must travel to India. You should travel to India. Reason out, because the extreme is a extreme step. Will that help the World Cup? No. Suppose Bangladesh doesn't travel to India. if it eventually sticks to its stand of not traveling to India. It will be a logistical nightmare, right, for the ICC. It will be, because that's exactly what I was telling Sunny, that the point is tickets are still being sold. If you go to book my show even now, the tickets are still being sold for the Bangladesh match in Kolkata. What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, that means that there is no formal communication on the part of the ICC to the BCCI that stops sale of tickets. They haven't. The BCCI, as the host board, has continued to sell tickets of the Bangladesh game even now, 300, 700, 500, something like that on Book My Show. Even today morning when I was checking, the tickets are being sold. This is where the matter becomes very, very interesting. So ICC will want to solve this till the very end. And the fact is, if the ICC doesn't, then it actually gets into a real quagmire of problems. Logistically, whoever has bought tickets will have to be refunded. There is an entire process to that. There will have to be a lot of back channel talks and negotiations that will go on. What will happen to those games? What happens to those venues, in this case Kolkata and Mumbai? What happens? Are you replacing a team? If the matches are forfeited, what happens to the World Cup? If the matches are moved to Sri Lanka, how many days are left today? 16 January. So effectively 20 days left for the World Cup. Are you going to reject the schedule with 20 days to go? Clearly no. You cannot reject the schedule. You've also lost 10 days in the interim. You cannot reject the schedule with 20 days to go. How many flights are there to Colombo? Imagine all these people, all these fans will want to all of a sudden go to Colombo. How do you kind of compensate those fans? What about their tickets? What about their hotels? What about the stuff that they have spent in? Will they lose all of that money? So from the standpoint of the ICC also, it's not an easy situation to be in. So if anyone thinks, Bangladesh not relevant, no, that's not how it is handled. But Bangladesh has, like I said yesterday, has considered a self goal. There's no win for them. There's absolutely no win for them. Now, suppose they decide to come to India. That's about eating humble pie. People will say, why did you up the ante? Why did you become nationalist? Why did you become jingoist? Why did you become hyper nationalist? People will question that. Second, you have tried to placate the political electorate. You have tried to do it. You have tried to do it in a manner that you kind of take your political electorate and ride with it, because the elections are coming on the 12th of February. Now, if you are unable to rally your political electorate, then what happens? So nowhere, if you take this square, Bangladesh is not winning. The players are miffed. Suppose you don't play the World Cup and you say you take a hard line, get lost, I am not going to play the World Cup. Do the players win? The players are talking about, what did Mehdi Hassan Miraj say? Mehdi was very clear that a lot of money from the Bangladesh Cricket Board actually comes from the ICC, and he's right. $30 million comes from the ICC. Now, if that money is gone, if that money is all of a sudden gone, the ICC imposes sanctions, then what happens to these players? They are going to be sacrificed because of the political expediency of the Bangladesh Cricket Board. The trying to placate the political class, you have actually made a mockery of the game. In this entire scenario, Bangladesh doesn't win, and that's the big call. Anyone else will, it's whatever. Bangladesh cricket, Bangladesh players, Bangladesh Cricket Board will not win. They have considered a self goal. Whatever happens from here, it will at best be a face saver of sorts. Nothing more than the face saver is possible at this point. Some questions? Pitmang, the ICC event is in India, is the heck of a task. Better only Sena country should host ICC World Cup. For fans, it's a scary experience. Why should it be a scary experience, Pitmang? I mean, because you are saying that people will not travel. Bangladesh, why should it be a scary experience? I mean, on what basis are you saying this? There was a hockey World Cup, went beautifully. Sunny Max, what public are you talking about? Is this the majority? Or is the political class? What rhetoric are you talking about? Who says have you taken a plebiscite in Bangladesh that you think the public cares about ICC funds? Of course they do. Cricket is almost a religion in Bangladesh as well. $30 million is not two penny change. What do you mean the public doesn't care? Of course the public cares. Every damn penny is relevant. Otherwise the sport will come to a standstill in the country. Do you think $30 million is some cheap change that Bangladesh has that kind of money to throw around? What are you talking about here? Ultimately, it's money talks. That Bangladesh would have not even wanted to negotiate with the ICC. They're to hell with it. We won't go. Are you seeing that? No. Why do you think Tamim Iqbal said what he did? That the money is relevant. Why do you think Mehdi Hassan Miraj said what he did? Because the money is relevant. Anybody can say, India, nobody can say the money is irrelevant. Can anyone? The amount of money that they get from the governing council, from the ICC rather, 29 point something $million, 4.46%. What are you talking about that the public doesn't care? Of course they care. Every person who's a sane person will have to care about this revenue. Sport is an industry in Bangladesh. Suppose the ICC money dries up. What happens to your local leagues? What happens to everything else? What happens to bilateral tours? You mean to say when BCCI tours a certain country, people don't care? Come on. Live, in this utopian world of public sentiment. You think people are doing a revolution on Facebook? How many people are there on Facebook doing a revolution? What are you talking? Some 5,000, 10,000, 50,000 people on Facebook and Twitter. They are the revolutionary army. ওখানে তুফান তুলতে দিন, কারণ তার তো কিছু আসছে যাচ্ছে না. People are not going to suffer. The entire industry will collapse. It's not that easy. When I see questions like this, BCCI, what is BCCI doing? BCCI has done the perfect thing, Shubham Avasthi. Perfect thing. They've kept mum. Why should they even utter a word? Give me one reason why the BCCI should utter a word. BCCI has gone ahead and done their preparations for the match in Calcutta or the match in Mumbai. Let the ICC and Bangladesh Cricket Board deal with it. Why should the BCCI even bother? Have the ICC told India about security threat? No. Have the ICC said a word to India that this is what you have to do? No. Why should the BCCI even jump into this whole matter? I think the BCCI has conducted itself with enough and more prudence and enough and more diplomacy. Other buzz, whatever this thing is. Are the matches going to shift to Sri Lanka? No. As of now, there is zero indication. Sitting today, 16 Jan, as of now, there is zero indication of the matches to shift to Sri Lanka buzz G. Zero. And I will back it up with two examples. Have there been any indication or thought process on the part of the ICC? Ticket sales of the Bangladesh matches would not have happened. Ticket sales would not have continued had there been any thought of relocating the matches to Sri Lanka. And I think the BCCI has played it very, very smart. Who's this? Diptoraj Shaha. Boryada heard that some Pakistan-born players are not getting visa. Yes, they're not getting visa is a wrong thing. Their clearances haven't come yet. It will come. The stated policy of the Indian government after Operation Sindoor is, even if you are from Pakistan, you want to come to India for a multi-nation tournament or a World Cup, you will get your visa. So you're talking about Ali Khan, you're talking about those players, they will get their clearances, don't worry. All this construction, there are people on social media who make these constructions. So and so did not get the visa. Doesn't happen like that. That doesn't happen like that. At this point, Bangladesh, what is more relevant to Bangladesh or the political class? Placate the electorate. Play the anti-India card. Show the local electorate that you can see India eye to eye and can say that, oh, you know what, we will not listen. They think that by playing the anti-India card, they have the electorate or the fundamentalist section of the electorate, the hardline section of the electorate with them. So that's where Bangladesh is. That's why a compromise formula is very difficult to reach. Very difficult. If you ask me, chances of Bangladesh board budging is pretty less. They have already taken the ante to a certain level from which they will not be able to come down very easily. And that's why I think Bangladesh is the loser from both ends. For ICC, it will be a logistical nightmare. For BCB, it will be a financial nightmare. It will be a nightmare in every reason, because cricket in that country will get a death blow. Cricket in that country will suffer because India will not travel. Imagine if Bangladesh doesn't come. Do you think India will travel to Bangladesh? Why do you think Mustafizur Rahman did not want to pursue this? Because Mustafizur Rahman, I'm not taking sides on Mustafizur Rahman. Yes or no, good call, bad call. No. But Mustafizur Rahman did not pursue it because clearly That would have been an issue when he tried to play in different parts of the world. Do I see Bangladesh board changing its stance? I find it very hard to believe that they will. The reason is they have taken the political rhetoric to such a jingoistic level that for them to now eat humble pie and say, oh, you know what, we are going to India, I don't see that happening with the elections round the corner. Had the elections not been round the corner, could have very well happened. But with the elections round the corner, I absolutely don't see this going. Shobhushachi Basu, this is a zero-win situation. Exactly what I'm saying. Bangladesh players are supporting ICC, will support, because their money comes from there. That's what Mehdi Hassan Miraz was talking about, right? Rohit Juglan saying 5% chance of Bangladesh coming to India. Yeah, he's right. Very little chance. 5%, 2%, 3%, I don't know. Very little chance. Why there no buzz for the T20 World Cup? No theme song. There is buzz. Every day we are talking about it. What do you mean there is no buzz? When the India versus New Zealand series happens, you think there is no buzz? Come on. There is buzz. What will happen? Surya Kumar Yadav, Kuldeep Yadav, will a Washington Sundar get fit on time? Will all these players get fit on time? We are every day debating this, every day talking about Tilak Varma, will he get back in time? All of these are important questions. I wish they should take stand also against electricity, onions, price rise. That's their problem, no? Diptoraj Shah, that's their problem. Like how they're stopping IPL broadcast. Does BCCI even care? Tell me. Bangladesh stopping IPL broadcast. Who will miss out? Their own fans. Who will miss out? The Bangladesh fans who watch the IPL and consume the IPL. Will the BCCI even flinch an eyelid? No. So you mean Bangladesh will forfeit? I think so. I think so. I don't see Bangladesh has any any other option, and that's exactly what I'm repeatedly saying. That cricket will get a bad blow. I mean, for Bangladesh to change their stance and come to India, ideal. But will such an ideal situation happen? Will they get convinced and come when the political establishment has raised the pitch to such a level from which it is very difficult for them to climb down? I don't see that. If it does happen, brilliant. That's the ideal situation for the World Cup. But that's tough, according to me. Pitbank. Bangladesh doesn't come to India, will their membership in ACC, not ACC. In ICC, they will have enormous things to deal with. India will not travel. A lot of other boards, because ultimately India is the most powerful board. India will definitely not travel to Bangladesh. Do I see other teams also following India? Could well be. Could well be. And the BCB case of double standards is exposed, no? Sharafuddollah being in India, and there's no comment on Sharafuddollah. He officiated in the last game in Rajkot. There's no talk on that. And all of a sudden you are saying, oh, you know what, there is security threat, this, that, whatnot, which actually was mentioned on the day Mustafizur Rahman was stopped. It was not mentioned one day before, it is not mentioned one day after. The moment Mustafizur Rahman issue happened, there's a security threat because it's political tit for tat. They thought we'll up the political ante, we will take the BCCI on, we'll fight with the BCCI, and the ICC will be forced to change. That was the thought. They did not feel that the ICC will dig its heels. They did not feel that the BCCI will dig its heels. Now they realize that, now we've taken the ante, we've upped the political sloganing. Now ICC is not willing to listen to us. What is our face saver? Everybody now wants a face saver of sorts. Is BPL happening? Bangali from Germany. Should happen, will happen. According to the press release issued by the players today, they've said that based on the show cause notice issued by the BCB to Nazmul, they will return to the playing field and will start, but they will also expect that action will be taken. Somebody said this, and rightly so, that an independent director can't be sacked. So he was released of his finance responsibilities by the Bangladesh Cricket Board. Can he be sacked? No, but there will be provisions, has to be provisions, whereby you can deal with this. Or he issues an unconditional apology that he made a mistake, because that's what the players have asked for. They've repeatedly said that let Nazmul issue an unconditional apology. Washington Sundar's replacement, that's a good question. Deep Prakash Singh. 4 people in the fray. As far as I'm concerned, my answer is Riyan Parag. Riyan Parag, from what I know, will get fit in 1 week. He is already in the final legs. He started training. He is batting. He is throwing. Riyan Parag will start bowling soon. He will get his fitness clearance from the NCA in maximum 1 week, 10 days is what I understand. Riyan Parag is the like-for-like replacement for Washington Sundar, right hand offie, right hand batter. Washington Sundar left hand, but he's a better batter than Washington Sundar. Obviously a slightly lesser bowler, but a better batter. Now, what kind of job does India want? I think Riyan Parag is perfectly fine. He's a gun fielder as well. Riyan Parag is an absolute gun fielder as well. Second, Nitish Kumar Reddy, who is part of the team. But Nitish Kumar Reddy, I've got a problem. Now, when you are playing Nitish Kumar Reddy, and in the last game in Rajkot, if you see, Indian faster bowlers started well. Harshit was bowling well. Prasidh bowled decently well in the first spell. Obviously, Mohammad Siraj bowled decently. Couple of wickets also fell. Now there comes Nitish Kumar Reddy, and the captain did not have the faith in him to bowl him more than 2 overs. Now, when you don't bowl a Nitish Kumar Reddy on a relatively decent track for more than 2 overs, what does that tell you? It tells you that he is not your player on whom Shubman Gill can actually depend on as an all-rounder position. So that's where Nitish Kumar Reddy, while he remains an option, I would suggest Riyan Parag might just pip Nitish Kumar Reddy. Ayush Badoni is somebody they've taken in the team. How do they drop Ayush Badoni without trying him out? Could be a question. Shomik gives me some information. Okay, to start with, apart from forfeiting points, and this is what Shomik says, this is what he's just messaged me, he's watching the show. Let me give you the details what Shomik Chakraborty just has messaged me. To start with, apart from forfeiting points, Bangladesh will lose the appearance money and their share of the prize money if they don't come to India for the World Cup. So that's the update that you're getting. That apart from forfeiting points, they will lose the appearance money and their share of the prize money if they don't come to play the World Cup. Don't you think after the century in Australia, Nitish's performance is going down? Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. Beat with the ball, beat with the bat. Where is that spark? I mean, the Indian team management has given Nitish way many more chances, expecting that he will become a like-for-like replacement for Hardik Pandya. I haven't seen Nitish Reddy step up after that 100 in Australia, which, by the way, was a magical 100. I covered that game at the MCG. Brilliant 100. Brilliant. But after that, the graph has progressively gone downhill. So I agree. Why is Hardik not considered for ODIs? Because his body, based on tests, is not yet ready to take the burden of ODI cricket. They will, and they don't want to risk Hardik ahead of the World Cup. That's why he's not playing ODI cricket. He will play T20s, and maybe after the World Cup, when the focus shifts to the 50 overs ahead of the World Cup in South Africa, you will, not maybe, I think you will see Hardik play the 50-over format. Shayantan Shengupta. What will be the future of the Asia Cup? Very difficult one. India doesn't travel to Pakistan, vice versa. The same with Bangladesh. So every Asia Cup in Dubai. That's a very, very good question. Or Sri Lanka or Oman. There are venues. It's not as if you can play an Asia Cup in Nepal, provided it's scheduled properly. Nepal has a massive cricket fan base. Massive. Pankaj Khimji in Oman has built a brilliant cricket fan base and rather infrastructural facilities. So Oman could be an option, Dubai could be an option, Nepal could be an option, Sri Lanka could be an option. So it's not as if you don't have options to go and play the Asia Cup. But the question is this situation conducive for such a tournament? Hardik played Vijay Hazare. Hardik is not ready for the rigors of 50-over cricket. And that's something which is a fact. Hardik will play the T20s. Hardik will play the short form, the shortest form rather. And maybe after the World Cup, after the IPL, he will start shifting his focus, because I'm pretty sure he would want to play the World Cup in South Africa next year. Out of context, Ranbir Kapoor and BlackRock buying RCB. Lot of talk, multiple places about who's buying, what's happening, multiple business people, business houses, etc., etc. So a lot of talk is going on. No definitive answer as far as I'm concerned. Shomik is also talking about further information. Quote, they will breach the participation clause. If Bangladesh doesn't participate, they will breach the participation clause, which could lead to losing a chunk of the ICC revenue. Their share is 4.47%, $26.7 million annually. Exactly what I was telling you. 20 Pakistani from different countries also not getting visas reduced to. That's exactly what I answered SAR 1075, including Ali Khan. They will get their visas. Players from any country, even Pakistan, if they had to come to India for a multinational event or an ICC event, they will get their visas, because the Indian government is stated policy, which was pronounced after Operation Sindoor, keeping in mind the Commonwealth Games, keeping in mind the Olympic Games, is every country, every player will be given visas to come and play on Indian soil, provided it's a multinational tournament. Can Bangladesh be replaced at this point in time with 20 days to go? It's very, very difficult. It's very difficult. So the answer is no. They will forfeit points. That's the worst case scenario, and the whole tournament will go for a toss. The ICC will have a logistical nightmare for sure, but Bangladesh cricket would have taken a plunge into hell. After that, what is the monetary loss? What is the revenue loss? What are the repercussions? Will this mean India will not go, which is basically the case? All of these things will start piling on the BCB. The elections will happen in the country on 12th. After that, what? This is a short term political expediency that's being tried out. Long term, nobody is thinking beyond the elections. Nobody is thinking about the future of the sport in Bangladesh. Nobody is thinking about where the sport is headed as a result of this crisis. Arindav Maji, as Shomik said, BCB will not get money from ICC. In that context, loses money, and how will they run? Exactly what I'm continuously talking about. How will they run their domestic cricket? How will players make money? How will the entire structure fund itself? Now, somebody will say this is not relevant. Of course, it is relevant. It's not mean money. It's not cheap change. It's not about 1 crore or 2 crores or 3 crores. It's about thousands, hundreds of crores. Shomik is also saying Bangladesh not telecasting the IPL, and this is an important point that he's making. Let me quickly tell you. Shomik is writing Bangladesh not telecasting the IPL. The IPL's broadcast rights deal for the period 2023 to 27 is 6.2 billion. T-Sports in Bangladesh right holder for the IPL. Payments are said to be agreement bound, irrespective of the telecast. So the BCCI won't lose a penny. Imagine this. So BCCI will not lose a penny because the telecast rights deal is such that whether you do it or not do it, you will have to pay. And even if they don't, in the overall scheme, I bet your bottom dollar that the overall contribution of Bangladesh will be so minuscule that for the BCCI, this is cheap change. $6.2 billion is what a country earns or a board earns over a period of time. Imagine the financial might of the BCCI. Fitbank, any outside chance of Shami getting considered for the 2027 World Cup? We've been talking about it continuously. Arshdeep not playing, and that kind of told me that if you're not going to play Arshdeep Singh, you should have tried out Mohammad Shami. There's no reason why you would have to keep Arshdeep Singh in the squad if you don't want to play him. And I understand, don't play him because Jasprit Bumrah and Arshdeep Singh are your two premier fast bowlers in the first game of the World Cup, or the warm-up game on the 4th. I understand that, but to have Arshdeep Singh in the team not play him doesn't really add up. I absolutely think Mohammad Shami should have been given an opportunity. They could have tried out Mohammad Shami in this particular competition. Checked that okay, here is where he is. And by the way, Prasidh Krishna, has he set the house on fire? He hasn't, and that's going on for a while now. So Prasidh Krishna hasn't really jumped the fence and become India's ace spearhead. Mohammad Shami 100% should have been tried according to me, and the selectors could have understood, okay, does this guy at all have a chance for 27, or it's a one-off, this is a relatively less important bilateral series, try him out and let him go. I would have thought that was a better call. The current regime is creating a circus of the issue, telling it as it is not elected. It's a political regime. They have an election. What do you say to this? They have an election. They have to please the electorate. They have to take a certain stance. They have to project the country in a certain light, in a certain manner. They have to placate their own electorate and people and keep them happy. So that's maybe the reason why it's going in this particular direction. Bangali from Germany. Moria, it's high time Prasidh Krishna should be replaced. I mean, I've been saying this for a while. If not replaced, he does have this tendency of picking good wickets. Good wickets. But Prasidh Krishna does bowl a lot of loose balls. Prasidh Krishna has this tendency of leaking runs. That is a concern, and that's where, according to me, Mohammad Shami should have been tried. Vaibhav Taragi. Harshit Rana is a very improved bowler. Correct. He's done much, much better, and he has looked good. Batting skills. He works on his batting skills. Could be a prime all-rounder. I don't think he has the mettle to become a prime all-rounder, but he could definitely be a bowler who can bat and hit a couple of shots, does play a few shots here and there, has scored some valuable runs. So could be a bowler who can bat and make some valuable contributions. Prime all-rounder is different. A Hardik Pandya or a Ben Stokes are prime all-rounder, or a Cameron Green. To imagine that Harshit Rana will become that good with the bat is expecting a bit too much, according to me. Do you think P. Krishna and Siraj are ODI bowlers? Why not? Siraj, nobody is stamped like that. Siraj has bowled beautifully in the last couple of games. I've got no problems with Siraj. Prasidh Krishna has bowled some wicket-taking balls and then has bowled some pretty bad balls. And that is the consistency that I always keep talking about. Tell me, does the selectors really follow domestic cricket? Yes, they do. They absolutely do. Badoni, yes, average of 8, bit of a travesty. I think his off spin, he has improved his off spin in the last couple of years. Washington Sundar, like for like replacement. That was the thought behind picking Ayush Badoni, that he can come and do the off spin and he can also do the batting and hit the ball. That's as far as cricket is concerned. Moving on to badminton, and you've seen that HS Prannoy game was stopped because of bird poop and all of that. The controversy surrounding the Indian Open hasn't stopped. The Some of the players have come on record saying conditions are not good. There is pigeon shit, there is bird shit that is on the courts. It's pretty bad in terms of AQI. Facilities aren't that great. On the other hand, Satvik in his mix zone interview has said that it's a big stadium. He liked it. He actually went on to say, I don't know about others, but as far as I'm concerned, I like it. Kidambi Shrikant has also kind of expressed support for the stadium and the BAI. PV Sindhu has expressed support. So it's at one level become India versus the relatively Anglo-Saxon world. My point here is simple. There are problems. While it is absolutely important to understand, introspect, and address these problems, and I'm for one to say that yes, there are problems, we accept it. I'm for one to say we will address these problems come the World Championship in August between 17th and 23rd. We will try and get better. We will want to address these issues and get better. But I will also say that India is not unique. In Paris, and I will tell you this, on the day before in fact, the morning of the Olympic opening thing, the train between which place to which place? Do you remember? Marseille to Correct, Marseille to Paris. Marseille to Paris was stopped for multiple hours. The train line had some problems. The couple of Indian players who were coming back to the sailors who were there in Marseille, they were coming back to attend the opening ceremony. They were stuck. There was an enormous security drill going on in the city. The doors were getting banged and police were stopping people and random checks happening. People were being pulled out. It was scary. It was absolutely scary in the Paris metro. But did we raise a hue and cry? You adjust. You make do, because this is not an ideal world. Imagine what is going on with Venezuela. You think the FIFA World Cup is all hunky dory? Imagine what is going on between Latin America and the United States, Mexico, Venezuela, Chile. You think everything is hunky dory there? You think everything is great in terms of the FIFA World Cup organization? 2016, I'll tell you this, in Rio, they even shut shop in the afternoon, the convenience store. So no water, no food, nothing. They said people there, they don't have people to man the shop. That is why they closed the shop down and went away. So all of us were stranded for 3-4 hours in the archery venue, and I personally faced this. There was no water, scorching heat, no water to buy. You can see it, but the shop is closed. This has happened in Rio. Imagine England. England people think, I mean, I can tell you, the food was inedible on occasions. It was that bad. It was that bad in some of the places. So, whether it is Paris, whether it is England, whether it is Rio, whether it is in other parts of the world, it's not as if there are no problems. Kidambi Shrikant has talked about Denmark. The problem is we in India tend to highlight during the Para World Championship dog biting somebody. That became the headline rather than India's 24 medals. The dog going and biting a foreign delegates. And we in India want to criticize our people the most. That's a typical Indian habit. Again, I'm saying this, that the situation needs rectification. It should happen. It should get better. The BI should work more. They should put in their effort so that during the World Cup, nothing happens. But it is not as if India is the only country where there are problems and issues like this, and every other country in the world does a sports event like a real dream. No, it doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen like that. Be it the Olympic Games, be it the Paralympic Games, be it other tournaments, everything. So that's something I would absolutely want to say. Last couple of minutes. ISL debacle, Proshanjit Mitro. I don't think it's a debacle with the AFC slot. It's a one-off season, hopefully. I do think it's not an ideal situation, but it's no longer a debacle now that the clubs have agreed to play 91 games, 14 clubs, all of them will play, whether it's home and away. Which club plays how many at home, we've got to wait and see. But now that the managing committee or the governing council is being formed, there is a issue with the AIFF veto, which again will get sorted. I don't think it's a debacle anymore, but yes, it is not an ideal situation. Hopefully, they will get a long-term commercial partner and will be able to solve it. AIFF leadership can't tell the difference between a Swiss model and a single leg. Proshanjit, let's not get into the semantics of it. We know what is happening, right? We know there is a tournament starting middle February. We know 14 teams will play. We know 91 games will happen. Finally, we have a tournament. The AFC has given India a leeway for 1 year. So, in every sense, something will happen now. So I'm not saving anybody or trying to be defensive at all. Yes, the sport has been sacrificed, but finally there is some action that's going to happen. It is absolutely imperative on the part of all of us to try and back that action and get the sport back on track. Last couple of questions. RCB's investment in crowd management to the Chinnaswamy, do you think this is a start for a revolution for better crowd management? I do think so. Because after what has happened, uh, crowd management becomes a very important issue. And in Indian stadiums, they aren't the best stadiums in terms of facilities. Take an MCG or a stadium like that and compare it with an Indian stadium, and you will know what I'm talking about. So crowd management is absolutely imperative and essential. And I think the tipping point was the Chinnaswamy stampede. Vikrant, missing you in sports talk. I miss Vikrant as well. He should at some point in time, whenever, and at some point, I'm sure he'll come and join Rev Sports, because this is the only platform that will do multi sports. 2023 World Cup was a huge success. No one talks much about it. Of course, was. Why are we only talking about the 2023 World Cup? The Hockey World Cup, which has been hosted in Bhubaneswar, the Hockey World Cup in Rourkela, even recently the Chennai Junior Hockey World Cup. India has staged multiple sporting events which were huge success. Huge success. The security perception is practically nil or marginal. I don't think that is an issue at all. So that's where I will stop today. Is Ravindra Jadeja going to play in the final ODI? Ravindra Jadeja has been kind of in the firing line, because batted a tad slow, hasn't been really effective with the ball. The revs are missing, kind of going through the motions. But Ravindra Jadeja is a big game player. It is an important match. Another series on the line. Can India win it? Perhaps. And Ravindra Jadeja, according to me, will play. Is a key cog in the Indian wheel in that final ODI. So I do think he will play. You and Vikrant are together. Oh my God, best collab. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Because ultimately, you have to understand, Rev Sports is the only platform that will do multi-sport with seriousness going forward. We have the means, we have the basis now, we have a serious corporate backing. So yes, I mean, at some point, I'm confident that this is a platform by journalists for journalists, and the whole idea is proper sports journalism, right, and multi-sport journalism. So I'm confident that the platform will grow and more work will happen. Chess Olympiad, yes, absolutely correct. The Chess Olympiad organization was another example of a serious success. You and Nikhil sir, no. Nikhil, my opinion of Nikhil. It's all there in band. I don't think I would not want to work with people who don't have a spine. Akib Nabi, when will we see him in Indian colors? Good question. Had a very good domestic season. Decent IPL bid, very good IPL bid rather, at some point in time, and it will be a great fillip for cricket in the region in Jammu and Kashmir. Don't keep asking questions. I'm not being able to finish the show. So it's time for me to close the show now. Watch out for Lakshya Sen against Lin Chinwei, world number 12 versus world number 14. Yesterday, Lakshya Sen was absolutely brilliant against Kenta Nishimoto. I thought Triza and Gayatri should have closed out the match in the second game against the number 7 seeds. Great match. Gopichand was really biting his nails. Satwik Chirag should have closed the match after winning the game 27-25 the first game. They should have closed the match in game 2. Again, those two were nail biters that the Indians lost. Lakshya being the only one still there. And if you see that draw, Kunwalut, Lakshya, Lynch, so you actually tend to think, Christie, that Lakshya does have the ability to go the distance. Can he stay focused? Can he stay consistent and manage to do that? If he does, after the Australian Open, does very well in the Indian Open in Delhi, it will be history made. So fingers crossed for Lakshya Sen. That's all I have today. Thank you very much for watching. Back tomorrow with plenty more. Bangladesh situation will evolve, and there will be a lot of news points. And my final point, tomorrow, 17 January at the Under 17 World Cup. Who's playing? It's India versus Bangladesh. In the current 19. Under 19 World Cup. Yeah, sorry, Under 19 World Cup. Under 19 World Cup, it's India versus Bangladesh. And brilliant, right? I mean, against this entire political backdrop, scenario, context, India versus Bangladesh in the Under 19 World Cup will be quite a juicy match. All our eyes will be on that. Hopefully, there will be no rain and no disruption and no interruption, and it will be a cracking cricket game. Thank you very much, folks, for watching.